Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mona Weng, Head of Business Development Asia Pacific from Waze. 接下来我们有请 Waze 亚太区事业发展总监 Mona.
Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Awesome. So I am Mona Weng. I am Head of Business Development for Asia Pacific for Waze, owned by Google. And I'm here to talk a little bit about how we are rethinking mobility with AI and the power of local insight. So before I get started, how many of you guys have actually heard of Waze? I see 3 hands. 4, great. Okay, awesome. So we're off to a great start. So for those of you guys who don't know, Waze was acquired by Google in 2013, and we are the world's largest social navigation app. So at Google, we have all of our products go through the toothbrush test. So we ask 2 things. 1, is it something that our users will use twice a day? 2nd, is it going to make our users' lives better? And I like to think that at Waze, we do that because we save every driver 5 minutes a day, every day. We make that our mission. When you multiply that by the 85 million plus and growing monthly active users that we have, that's a whole lot of time that we're saving for people. So how does it actually work? There's a couple of keywords here: real time, crowdsourced, AI, smart technology. So when we launch into a new market, we usually start with an open sourced map, or we actually have a completely blank map, and we actually use GPS technology to allow the pioneers in the market to actually draw out the roads with their cars, which is pretty awesome. And we also have a community. We have 420,000 map editors around the world that are spending their free time to actually help us confirm street names, add new streets, and update the rules. So it's actually pretty incredible that they really believe in our mission and they want our maps to be great in their city. And of course, we have another layer with our users. So you can contribute with 2 ways. 1 is passively. If you have Waze open, we will send anonymized GPS pings to your app so we can know the average speeds on the road that you're traveling on. On the active side, if you want to help out with your community, you can actually send a report and say, hey, a major accident just happened on this road. Make sure that everyone else who's using Waze is aware. And that's really the power of community. So I think it's really incredible because Waze has some very sophisticated technology that happens in the back end to allow us to be so effective. But we always say that we are an app made for the community by the community. And our key differentiator is really how the community curates our complete traffic intelligence. So our 420,000 map editors make on average 15 million map edits per month. And the cool thing is that you can actually grow with the community. So you can start off as a baby Wazer in the local community, and you can actually upgrade through making more and more map edits to become an area manager, a country manager, and maybe even one day join the ranks of our 500 global champs who have access to an exclusive T-Rex Waze icon and actually can meet each other at our annual meetups to talk more about mapping and traffic intelligence. So I want to share some examples of how we're using AI and pairing that with local insight to launch some really innovative features. So this is our speed meter. So as you can see, when you're driving on roads, sometimes it's really annoying because you don't know what the actual speed limit is. You have no idea if you're speeding or not, or if you're going to get pulled over. So we actually used AI to predict speed limits on every segment in the world. And then we mobilized our community to actually verify and validate. So it was really cool. It was really pairing technology with that local and human touch. The unfortunate thing also is that safety is a big issue, regardless of wherever you are in the world. We actually predict through the World Health Organization that 1.2 million deaths happen every year due to road traffic accidents. So if you look deeper at why that happens, a big reason is texting and driving. And the worst part is when you look at the content, it's, I'm 5 minutes away. I'm so sorry I'm running late. And when you're texting that, you're putting yourself at risk and also causing the people on the road with you to potentially face a bad accident. So we launched Send ETA, where you could use one press of a button to send your location in real time to the person that you're meeting. And that way they can get the updated ETA and stalk you live on that map. The other cool thing is that we've expanded beyond just in-car navigation to really help people plan ahead. If you knew you needed to be here for the DATE Summit at 9 a.m., you can look at Waze's data visualization to see when is the time to leave to have the shortest commute and also get here on time. So in summary, Waze pairs AI technology with local insights to really deliver tangible value to our users. And I can go on and on talking about some of the other features we've developed, but I want to share a little bit about some of the cool things we're doing with governments around the world with our big data partnerships. So we are rethinking mobility at a bigger scale. So I want to play this video very quickly, but we launched the Connected Citizens program in 2014 to partner with governments all around the world to really help them get to that goal of becoming true smart cities. Can we play the video?
When Waze first launched, its core was about outsmarting traffic together. CCP is a next natural evolution of Waze. Now we're really talking about saving time for millions of people.
Our drivers are out on the streets every hour of every day, reporting the most accurate information on closures and congestion. We are taking that information and delivering it to the government officials who can address incidents in real time.
This is a real program with real impact. We're actually sitting down with partners and having measurable results every day.
Boston is a city of around 600,000 residents, but during a typical workday, we grow to over 1 million people. Waze has allowed us to rapidly iterate through experiments to see what sort of effect interventions have on congestion and traffic.
We had a major snow last March. Seeing the data come in from Waze every 2 minutes allows us to grab user reports, and then we can respond to those reports in a timely manner.
We didn't expect that so quickly we would have cities redistributing traffic personnel, that we would have 911 systems relying on this data. At the core, CCP has the same mission as Waze, which is to save people time every day. It's showing us what our new goals are going to be. New forms of safety, new forms of urban mobility, helping cities become a lab for making lives better.
Awesome. So as the video mentioned, we started off in October of 2014 with 10 partners around the world. Our Asia partner was Jakarta, Indonesia. And today we are at way more than 250 plus partners around the world. We work with departments of transportation, emergency response departments, municipalities, police departments, and also transit agencies, touching just under 1 billion people. So the reason why we got started is the city of Rio de Janeiro actually approached us to help them prepare for the Olympics. How many of you guys have been to Rio? Okay, one person, awesome. So you know that the congestion there is very bad. And when you are anticipating 1 million additional extra visitors, that's a whole lot of worry that you have toward your traffic condition in that city. So they actually came out to us and they said, we have the budget to build 3 new rapid transit lanes, but we do not know where to actually build them that will make the most impact. Therefore, we looked at a map of Rio, looked at the congestion points, looked at the traffic flows, and actually came up with recommendations on where they should actually build those transit lanes. And after they were built and actually in effect, we used our data to help them measure the impact. They saw a 24 to 27% decrease in drive times on average during their morning commute. And during the Olympics, they worked with us to develop an API to actually update Waze automatically with all the closures information. So Waze was actually the unofficial navigation app used in the 2016 Olympics. One other really cool case study I want to share is our work with emergency response departments all across Latin America, Europe, and also certain parts of Southeast Asia. So in the US, we actually had some really staggering statistics. 63% of 911 callers don't know their location. And when you're in an accident, literally the first thing that you think about is, how do I stop my forehead from bleeding, not where I'm at. And unfortunately, in the US, 70% of crashes are reported on Waze before called into 911. The average lag time after the accident happens is 7 to 10 minutes. And when you think about it, when you're bleeding, when you're in an accident, and you need to get to the hospital as soon as possible, every minute matters. So we worked with all of these departments around the world to share all of our data on accidents and things coming up on the roads to our partners in real time. And now we're tracking the results. We're seeing a 4 to 7 minute faster response time all across the board. We really hope to partner with more departments in Asia specifically, so please let us know if your home country or your home city is very interested. So after all these conversations on mobility, all the innovations that we've driven, we actually thought to expand on our original mission statement. Aside from helping people save 5 minutes a day every day and helping them outsmart traffic, what if there was a way we could use our technology and our users to actually help end traffic together? So what does that actually mean? We're trying to test this out through Waze carpool. And the key in the game is using algorithms in our technology and pairing people, connecting drivers and riders with similar destinations to commute together on the most optimal routes. And the key here is volume reduction. So I live in San Francisco, and I work at Google headquarters in Mountain View. It's a terrible 1.5 hour commute every morning. The guy down the street from me also works down in Mountain View, and literally sometimes I actually look over on the 101 South, and I see him next to me. Between the two of us and our 2 cars, we have 8 seats that are open. So if I could put myself in his car, or he could put himself in my car, that's 50% reduction of the cars that could be on the road. If you scale that and you leverage Waze's very engaged user base in the US, that could be a very, very big solution to actually solving traffic. So we're testing this right now. We've rolled out all across California. We're in Tel Aviv, Israel. And we also just rolled out for Hurricane Harvey. We had a lot of people who reported that their cars were damaged in the natural disaster. So we rolled out Waze Carpool as a free service so people could use Waze to find riders to help each other move ahead from the disaster. So it all comes down to this, matching riders to drivers with similar routes to optimize traffic, and maybe giving them a little bit of gas money just to thank them for their time. And while we have some very, very awesome technology that's very complex with lots of algorithms powered by AI in the background to make all this happen, we strongly believe that at the end of the day, it's about people helping people. So I just shared a lot about how we're rethinking mobility on many different levels, but many of you guys today may be wondering, how does Waze actually monetize? So I want to share a little bit about that. We focus on delivering meaningful brand experiences with AI and big data. What does that actually mean, though? Sounds very fancy, huh? So we are in the game of location-based marketing. But for us, we approach it a little bit differently. We don't want to just stop at serving someone an ad who's physically nearby. We want to get it correct. We care about context, relevance, leveraging what we know about the consumer to serve them the best ad, so it's actually going to be useful for them. So what we do is billboards with a digital backbone. So when you see this ad on this screen, you can see that Whole Foods is open right now, and the whole goal of Whole Foods is to drive foot traffic to their store on Main Street. So you can see here that, first of all, it indicates it's open, 2, has a very delicious burger, and 3, it tells you it's 12 minutes away, and there's a button where you could drive there. So all of a sudden, it's not just an ad that you see that you can maybe take action on later. You can literally press the drive there button, and it will add a new drive to your original navigation and take you to Whole Foods in 12 minutes. So for us, in the mobile advertising landscape, there are 2 main schools of thought. They aren't mutually exclusive necessarily, but I want to share a little bit about our approach to this. So native, obviously Waze falls within that scope, and you heard from Facebook earlier, and Instagram was mentioned, Spotify, Pinterest, you see all of that. And also you have network. You have networks where you're able to create campaigns that serve several platforms. So network is very effective because you can get really good scale, really good reach, and you can be very efficient. But the issue is sometimes the context is lost. What do I mean by that? So here are two ads side by side. One is native, one is network. This is a Waze ad. You can see it's 4:25 p.m. This person is actually in the car already. So if your goal as a business is to drive foot traffic, do you want to target someone who's like at home in their PJs, not really looking to go outside? Or do you want to target someone who's already in their car, ready to go? So you can see here, 4:25 p.m. sounds like a pretty good time to me for an Italian hero delicious sandwich from Subway. And if I'm already 1 minute away, that's a really, really good option as well. So the cool thing is that you can see that it says very clearly 1 minute away, drive there. We will literally drive the person to your front door to get you that conversion. On the other side, for network, while it's a very pretty ad, unfortunately, the context is missing here. So for one thing is that the person was reading at 11 p.m. The store probably isn't open for the summer event. Two, there's no indication that the person's actually in the market for a car, let alone a Mercedes. So bottom line is, Waze knows drivers. We know the when, the where, the how. We're using machine learning to actually help predict what our users will actually want. And in the US, we have a lot of hours that people spend in the app. About 10 hours per month on Waze in the US as of June 2017. And the average minutes per day is actually more than Instagram, Pinterest, or Twitter. And the crazy thing is, in markets where we're really big in, like for example, Manila, Philippines, the average person spends 1 hour and 20 minutes per day on Waze in Manila. So I can't emphasize this enough, but the whole thing is the power of context is crucial. Understanding the consumer mindset in the moment is the business of how we do. So the two main goals that our clients drive with us is number one, building awareness, really increasing the awareness of the brand based off of the location and context of a drive. And two, driving foot traffic, driving business actually to the store physically. Here are some examples of what our advertising looks like. We have a zero-speed takeover. If we detect that the car is not moving and at 0 miles per hour, we will show a billboard-style takeover that you could then save for later. We have an inbox message, push notification, and we also have search, pin, and takeover. One last thing I want to close with is we're actually looking for different ways to innovate with our deep linking technology. So I'm sure all of you have had this really annoying experience. You have a very long night talking to a chatbot, perhaps, and then you wake up next morning, you're super tired, you don't want to go to work, but unfortunately you do have to. So you drive to your favorite coffee shop, and then you're excited to start the day, refreshed, and then you see a 30-minute wait in front of you. What a terrible morning, right? So in the US, if you use Waze and you love Dunkin' Donuts, what you could do is you actually order ahead right within the app. You can have your donut and your coffee and all of that are all ready for you. And based off of your ETA to the shop, the Dunkin' Donuts people will actually prepare it for you. So this is just the beginning. We're testing all sorts of different things within our within our business platform. And we're always focused on new innovations to help us rethink mobility. So thank you so much for your time. My email address is monaweng@google.com. We're still very new in Taiwan, obviously, so we're looking for pioneers to help us build up this market. And feel free to email me if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much to Mona. Thank you for introducing some of the very exciting services from Waze. 非常谢谢 Waze